Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I'm new myself to Rubik's Cube. I got it recently and it took me almost 3 days to solve it the first time. I looked up many sources online and none of them was complete from A to Z, so I had to gather information from here and there until I got it solved. So I decided to do myself a video to share it with you. First of all, what you need to know about Rubik's Cube is that as any cube has 6 sides, so 6 colors. A Rubik's Cube has 3 kinds of pieces. We have the middle piece. The middle piece usually decides the color of the side because it doesn't move and it always stays a middle piece. As for the edge piece, which is on the edge and it has 2 colors and always stays an edge piece. Then we have the corner piece, which has 3 colors and always stays a corner piece. That being said, we move on now to another thing. Usually when we solve this second, as this is my the way I'm gonna solve it today, I'm gonna use algorithms for the second and the third. So usually when we say U, it means it stands for up, and when we say U, it's counterclockwise. Clockwise. So U is this. U prime is the inverse, which is the counterclockwise. Now on this side is the right, which is R. So R, we move it this way. R prime, we move it backward, counterclockwise. Clockwise R, counterclockwise R prime. L for left. So this is L prime and this is L. Now we have F for the front. This is F and this is F prime. The back is B and this is D for down. The bottom one is D and the back is B, and this is D prime, the inverse, and this is D, D prime and D. So to recap, U, L, R, D, F, the front, back, B. Now that we know all these things, we can proceed to solve the Rubik's Cube. Solving the Rubik's Cube involves solving one layer at a time. So we're gonna solve the first layer first, and then we move on to the second layer and to the last layer. Obviously, when we solve the first layer, we have less restraints because we don't have the second and third layers solved, so we are free to move stuff around and not to worry about them. But once we move on to the second layer, then we have to worry about the first layer, not to mess it up because we already have it done. This is a preference here. I usually start with the white and move my way down. That's a preference. You can start with any color. You can start with orange if you want, but I like it to start with the white one. I've seen some people, they do it, they solve the first layer with some algorithm, like doing a daisy here with these 4 in white. But personally, I think it's very easy to solve the first layer. As I said, it's not linked to the second and third because we haven't done them yet, so we don't have to worry about them. So what we can do is basically solve the first layer intuitively, so we don't have to use any algorithm. The first thing we can look at, let's say for example this this corner piece, it has green, red and white. So I'm gonna look for the side that has green and red. So this is the side, so I'm gonna move it to here. Okay, so now it's in the right position, but it's not oriented correctly. So how can we fix that? I can do this and then move it to here. So now I got it oriented correctly, with red with the red, green with the green, and white with the white. Let's move on. Now I have white with red. So white with red, this means it has to be this piece here. So I have to move this one here to be in this position. So look at this. I move it away, I bring this layer down, and I move it back in. Now I bring it up, and here you go, it's in the right position. Let's move on. White, orange and blue. We move it. So blue, orange, and here the white. So this piece needs to go here. So what I can do is basically flip this. Look guys, because I don't have any white in here, so I don't mind flipping this like this. So I'm not messing up these two. So now it's in the right position and the right orientation. Move on. Orange, green and white. This one needs to go here. Green, orange, green and white. So I move it away, move this down, move it back in, flip it up, and it's in the right position and right orientation. This one. Now this one is different because it's at the bottom, so I have to move it in a way so that I make it on this side, and then I do what I was doing with these pieces, the ones that I put up. So I move it. So this one, this corner piece needs to go in here because of red and blue and white. So by turning this is R prime. Now my piece becomes here. So I can flip it, flip the bottom. So I can turn this back, so I'm not messing this one up. I can turn this back up. Now to move this to here, I'm gonna bring this down, put this in here, bring it up again, and here we go. Few more steps. Now let's take this one. This one needs to go here because it's green, so it needs to be here. So I'm gonna bring it down first, move it out of the way because I need to bring this back up. Now I have it here and it needs to go here. So in this case, see, it's green with green, white here, it needs to go up here. So look at this. I'm gonna flip this one down. Now my piece is on the other side. Bring it to this side and bring the middle up, and now it's correct. Now this piece, white and blue, it needs to go here. Blue, white. This is easy. I bring this side down, and now I put it in its position, and it's correct. Now white and orange. Oh, sorry. We have to realign this one. It's red like this. So red is on the red. Now this piece, white and orange, has to go here, white and orange. So I move it away like this, bring this down and bring it up, and fix this, put it back with the matching colors, and now I have the first layer solved. We move on to the second layer. The second layer, it's a bit easier because there's a certain algorithm. First thing you have to know is that if you're using the white, on the other side there is yellow. So now we need to look at the third layer. To solve the second layer, we need to look at the third layer, the edge pieces, and look for edge pieces that doesn't have yellow in it, because yellow is the bottom one. So like for example this piece, okay, so it has green and orange. Green, so we move it to green. Okay, now because it has orange at the bottom and orange is here, we move it away from the orange. Then because we moved it this way, we bring this side down, we move it back in, and we bring this side up again. Now fix the error that you created. You messed up the white ones, so we need to bring this one up here. So I'm gonna move it away, bring this down, move it back in, bring it up. So now we look again at edge pieces at the last layer that doesn't have yellow, like this one. So this one needs to go on the blue side, and because it has orange and orange is on this side, so we have to move it away from this side, bring this side down, move it back in, bring it up, and now fix the error that we created. Okay, we're almost there. There's two more. So if we look at the bottom now, which edge piece doesn't have yellow? This one, red and blue. So we move it to the red. Now since we have blue here and blue is on this side, we move it away, we bring this down, we move it back in, we bring this up, fix. We messed up the white, so we have to fix it. Almost there. We still have this one. Now we look down. There's green. Oh, by the way, sometimes there is a possibility that all the edge pieces at the bottom, all of them has yellow, so you can't use any of them. So for example, let's say this one is the one that has, you're gonna end up with one here that doesn't match these two sides and it doesn't have yellow. You need to bring this one down here. So what you need to do, for example, you bring it, look, I'm bringing it down here because I have to bring this up again. So if I do this and this, I didn't bring this down. So I have to move it away of this rotation. So I'm gonna move it away, bring this up, and then fix the white one. But in our case now, we don't need this because we already have the one that doesn't contain yellow at the last layer. So it's green, green and red. So again, red is on this side, we move it away from the red, we bring the red side down, we move it back in, bring it up, and fix the error. And we're done with the second layer. Now the hardest one is the last one. Typically here we can end up with different ways. Either we have a yellow in the middle, one yellow, and like this, these we don't count. So what I'm looking for is to have a yellow dot here, or an L shape, or horizontal line. And eventually we're gonna get a cross. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the yellow cross. So let's restart again. We have either a yellow dot. We're lucky now because we got it from the yellow dot. Either we're gonna have an L shape, yellow, or horizontal yellow line. And eventually we have a cross. Now, since it's a dot in the middle, so it doesn't matter how we hold it. So let's say we hold the cube like this. You have to follow this algorithm. So it's F R U R prime U prime F prime. And notice that we created the L shape. Now you have to hold the cube. Now the orientation is important. You have to hold the cube in a way so that the L shape is like this. So again, the same algorithm, we repeat it. F R U R prime U prime F prime. And notice what we got. The horizontal yellow line. Now also the orientation is important. You have to hold it horizontally. It doesn't matter this way or this way. And then the same algorithm, F R U R prime U prime F prime. And look what we have. We got the cross. Also forget these two, but we got the yellow cross. Now the next step is to match the edge pieces on the third layer with the middle pieces. So this is, oh, we already have one matching here, and none of them, only one matches. Let's see, oh, we have red and green. That's important, that's good. Now some cases none of them match, so you have to do the next step. It doesn't matter like how you hold the cube. Now it's important the way you hold the cube, because we already matched two sides. So the way you have to hold it is so that one of the matching sides is on the back and the other one is on this side. So one is on the right and one on the back. Also, I mentioned the time when none of them is matching. It doesn't matter how you hold the cube. So it doesn't matter how you hold the cube when none of them is matching. Sometimes you have them across from each other, like this, on this side and on this side. So you have to hold the cube like this, so that one of them is facing you and one is in the back, and you do the same algorithm I'm gonna do now. Once you do it once, you're gonna notice that you're gonna have two matching colors like this. So you hold it in a way, one of them is in the back and one of them is on this side, and then you do the same algorithm I'm gonna do now one time more, and you will notice all of them will match. In case none of them is matching, you have to do it also twice. One time to get two adjacent sides matching, and the other time is to get all the edge pieces aligned with their colors. Now, we're lucky in this case because we got two adjacent colors matching, two adjacent sides matching. So we have to do this algorithm. R, remember, one in the back, one on this side. R, U, R prime. U, R, U2 twice, R prime. And now U. That's it. That's the algorithm. However, this last U, you don't do it always. You only do it in this case. All of them are matching. So let's recap the algorithm. R, U, R prime. U, R, U2, R prime. Now, let's see. So we solved all the edge pieces. What we're left with is the corner pieces. I can see here this one is not in the right position, blue and orange. This one also is not in the right position, and this one also, there's red and blue. This one is in the right position, but not oriented correctly. So it's important to hold the cube so that the one in the right position is at the bottom right. So it's important to hold the cube like this. And now we have to do this algorithm and repeat it as many times as we need so that all the corner pieces fall into places, in the correct place. So we do this algorithm. U, R, U prime, L prime. U, R prime, U prime, L. Let's see what happened now. This is always in the right position. Not yet. This side not yet. This side not yet. This side not yet. So we do it again. U, R, U prime, L prime, U. R prime, L. Let's look again. This one is still in the right position, not correctly oriented. Oh, look at this. Now we have one that fell in place with the right orientation. Perfect. And we have one here that's in the right position but not well oriented, and one here that fell in the right position and well oriented. So what we're left with is not only two pieces that are not are in the right places but not well oriented. So what we need to do is the following. We hold the cube so that one of the pieces, the corner pieces, is at the bottom left, sorry, at the bottom right, and we have to repeat this algorithm. So R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, D. So we keep on doing that until this, you will notice this will come here. And don't worry, you're gonna think we're messing up the cube. It's gonna be looking messed up, but it's all gonna come together at the end. So so even though it's gonna look like we're messing up the cube, but it's not. So let's do this. R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, and the most important thing is don't forget the D, because if you don't do the D, and that was a mistake, I did it at the beginning many times. It was either like losing count of the R prime and D prime and R, D, and then mix up the whole thing, or I forget the D, so it messes up the whole cube. So once you do the R, you have to do the D with it. Now we're in this position. You keep on holding the cube like this, but you rotate the top so that the corner piece is at the bottom right. And look at this. It looks messed up, right? We repeat the same algorithm again. R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, don't forget the D, oh, and Rubik's Cube is solved. I hope that you like this solution. I'm sure probably it's not the best solution out there, but I kind of tried to do it as simple as possible, memorizing the least possible algorithms. So thanks a lot, guys, and if you like the video, click on the like button. Thank you and have a good day.